Hey, it's Nathan Selove from Oakcroft Films. I would just like to post a update video about a law that I discussed in a previous video, HR 620, the ADA Education and Reform Act. Just a quick overview of what this law does. So as it stands, enforcement of the Americans with Disabilities Act, also known as the ADA, is done through not direct hands-on approach, but through complaints. So if someone has an access barrier, they write a complaint to the Justice Department, and the Department of Justice then eventually, usually takes almost a year to get back to them, then contacts them back and usually sets up a mediation process with the business owner. Now, usually it's settled outside of court. There are very few cases in which it actually goes to court. Most of them are settled outside of court. But what HR 620 does is it basically prolongs that process. So what it does is it says that after a disability access violation occurs, the person with the disability has 30 days or 60 days to write a letter to the business owner to basically show them, to tell them like which part of the Americans with Disabilities Act they violated and how they can fix it. And then after that, the business owner has another 120 days to do something about it. And after that expires, nothing happens. Basically, even if they don't do it, nothing happens. The only thing that occurs is that then the person with the disability can contact the Department of Justice. It prolongs an already arbitrary process. And the argument for it is that it's supposed to curb frivolous disability lawsuits, but the numbers for those are immeasurably exaggerated. Like I said, most of the time when there is a disability access violation, it's settled outside of court through mediation. So this law that I discussed in the previous video is set to be voted on this Thursday, and it needs to stop right here. It basically dismantles the enforcement of the Americans with Disabilities Act. It makes the process of receiving justice for violations even more difficult, and many have even argued that it'll essentially make parts of the Americans with Disabilities Act optional for businesses to follow. That's not okay. We need to become advocates for this. This vote is happening this Thursday, so in the House of Representatives. So contact your Congressional House of Representatives representative and tell them to vote no on HR 620, the ADA Education and Reform Act. If you don't know who your representative is, I'll leave a link in the description for how you can find them and how you can, and it should direct you to their page where you can find their number. And when you call them, make sure you talk to a staffer. Don't just leave a message. Talk to a staffer and tell them vote no on HR 620. I cannot express how important this is, because as a country, we need to be promoting the rights of people with disabilities. There is still a lot of area to cover. Taking a step backwards is simply unacceptable. So thank you for watching this video, and I really hope that I can count on you to be an advocate for those of us with disabilities.